You okay? Yeah, so true. All right. Both players ready. Both players on seed. We're counting off this match in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. All right, I hope the delay is good. Yes, both players. Okay. Both players' feeds. So on my end, there's no delay. And we're off. On a new day, on an 18, relatively slow, not trivial, but slow. And who do we have here? On the left side, Felix, with a PB of a 1.1 million. This being said, depending on who you ask, that PB might be 900K. Felix is a roller, a keyboard roller. And on the right side, we have Marts, who I think has been playing for a much longer time. Marts has a PB of around 810K. Forgot the exact number. And Marts is using. Playstyle is Marts using? I don't know yet. Okay, well, 80,000 for Felix, 61,000 for Marts. Felix just a couple lines ahead. So we'll see how this plays out. Felix is opting for bringing those bars all the way to the left and building a center well that's seeming to cause him trouble with his rolling, but hopefully he's able to bring that down. Meanwhile, Marts is quite clean at the moment. And this can give him, this is giving him time to form a lead. And Felix is still in trouble, needs to get something to the right and does it. Okay. 92,000 for Felix, 116,000 for Marts. Same lines. So Marts is gaining a little bit of a lead, but Felix, meanwhile, is bringing that board back down and is finally Tetris ready. Can the bar come in time? And the answer is yes, the bar comes. After a few burns, the bar does come, and we get a Tetris for Felix. Okay. So now Marts has quite a stronger lead with 187,000 to Felix's 151, but Marts also has about 8 lines behind Felix. So Marts is doing very well right now. And this is a gold match, so hopefully both players do end up making it to transition. And we see, transition deciding the match. And Marts is a DAS player, so this appears to be a DAS versus roll match. And those are beautiful. I love those. I love pitting the old play style against the new and seeing who comes out on top. And that was a nice spin for Felix. Both players at around 244,000, but Felix again having about 7 lines ahead of Marts. Hello.
Close this door. You can come do that out here if you don't need it sound.
Hello, Finio. We're approaching 100 lines, and Felix has crossed 200K, has crossed 300K just about. Mart's also crossing 300K, but still, Felix is that lines lead, which is not so good for him at this point. We're approaching 100 lines. We want to get to the bottom of the board for the 19 transition. Finio says burger joint. This is true. This is very true. Okay. 330 for Felix and 347 for Marts. Felix 12 lines ahead. So still, Marts is pacing a significant bit better. Finio asks, tell me what we're playing today. Tetris. Yes, TNP Gold 79. Like, we're playing Tetris. Indeed. Felix, 10 lines from transition, setting up for a dangerous, dirty Tetris that a DAS player should never attempt, and a roller still not having a great time with. Mart's keeping it clean, and also keeping 80,000 points above Felix. And Felix just can't get something over to the left and is going to top out. Darn, yeah. And so Marts has the map. Marts has game one. Marts is good. Marts is good. Thank you. Yeah. Again, I still don't know at this point if I can do a second set, but I'm trying. GG, everyone. Yeah, so right before transition, Felix, I think you might have gone a little aggressive there. I don't know. I'm not a very skilled player. Finio says hello, players. Okay. So the way this works, is that we do want to increment the seed. Yes, so 3, 6. We're now 3, 6, B8, 7A. And we're both ready again. Marts has the seed pick now. I'm gonna assume 18 all the way, unless in chat, just Felix and Marts, if you want to confirm 18 all the way. And Felix, I'm just waiting for you. All right, 18 all the way. All right. Sorry for the bit of the, I guess agitation of sorts. I'm not agitated. I'm just I don't know. I'm trying my best here. I'm trying my best. I feel like I'm winging it, but I guess we all are. So let's start match 2, if we don't mind. In 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Tetris. Depending on Finio says I'm doing fine. Yeah, this was like a super duper emergency restream. I kind of am a little caught off guard. And so the quality is definitely not what I would like. But that's okay. And Marts with some early holes, but from what we've seen before of Marts's pacing, I don't think that that's going to be a big deal in the end. We'll have to find out though. Felix, meanwhile, also has some holes that he is getting through. So, normal starts for both players. Although that board's getting kind of high on Marts' side. Marts' face, my goodness. I think something amazing might have happened. I don't know. Gets a bar over to the left. And Felix has this, what looks almost like a 3 high Vitz setup, but that's definitely not a Vitz, because that's not going to work. Instead, it becomes a spin tuck. And Marts is in trouble and needs to just get something over to the left and is going to early top. And Felix takes game 2. Marts says, what the heck was that? Yeah, Marts, my man. My goodness. What was that? Early top. Early top. It happens. Okay, so increment seed again. So just change those first 2 numbers. 4, 7. Yep, there we go. All right. Warm up is done. Warm up is done. All right. Let's start game 3 in 3, 2, 1. Tetris or burger joint. Depends on who you ask. But what was that, Felix? I don't know what Felix did in that opening, but It was interesting, all right. But we're back, and Felix quickly fills a bar dependency, so that's nice. Seems like Felix likes spins. I think Felix might be good at spins, and I think that's good for it. Meanwhile, Mart's needing to get that well open, but now puts this eyepiece right in front of the well. Meanwhile, Felix is in trouble. Both players are hugely in trouble. And Marts is going to top out again, and Felix is good. Okay. Felix is good for game number 2. Finio asks, do you know why there's a big difference in video quality for the two players' games? I don't know. I don't see a difference. I see a difference in color. I don't see a difference in quality. And color, I'm not worried about. I do have a question. Okay, wait. Is it me or like we're genuinely just having early tops like a normal Tetris match? Because I don't know. Because I'm a very new restreamer, so I just need to make sure like that's not me, right? That is just normal everyday early tops. Yeah. 5-8. 5-8. Yes. Right? These are normal early tops. Can the players hear me? Oh, why does Marts have the point? Thank you, Felix. You won that one. My bad. You won that one. Felix won that one. Marts, are you good? Benio says, Marts, you got this. I believe in Marts. I mean, at the speed this is going, we might be able to do the second set. Um, Hang on, I'm just waiting for Marts. I don't know if he can hear me. Marts says all's good. I think that means we're okay. Okay. I'm gonna assume we're fine. And we're gonna start game 4. Okay. Okay, we're fine. Marts says we're fine. Okay, that's good. Again, really sorry. Okay. Okay. We're starting game number 4 in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Alright, early tops are great. They make games go very quickly, but at the same time, we've not seen a game go like past transition yet. Sure, Felix got right to transition. Or no, I think it was Marts who got right to transition, and then Felix topped out. Wasn't so great. In the sense that we didn't get to see like a real transition battle. So hopefully after this game, we will change that story. But already, it looks just very difficult for Felix to keep the stack clean. Marts, meanwhile, has the right well in place, fully ready to go. Felix is almost clean, has formed himself another bar dependency, which gets filled, and would be seeing a Tetris well up 2 rows from the bottom, but instead that only burns a double, so Felix is higher than maybe he'd like. And Marts just keeps scoring. Felix's game looks to be going quicker now. I don't know. We will see. But what I do know is 124,000 for Marts, 36,000 for Felix. Felix with a slight, like 3-line lead. So Marts absolutely is the pace lead. In all respects. Felix and Finio says Felix's game seems to be going quicker. Oh. That would be bad. Hmm. Well, I've never seen Felix get to. I think I see what you're saying, Finio. Okay, 110 for Felix, 156 for Marts. But yeah, I'm going to say that we're going to let this play out because I do think it's fine. I think it's more likely than not that we're fine. So we will play this out. If, however, we find, the opposite, then yes, I will investigate. But we're fine. We're currently fine. 181 for Felix, 165 for Marts. And Marts, that J piece is not very helpful. It's not in a good spot, but at least it's cleared out of the way now. And we are back to almost a clean stack. At least the well is open. Okay, 230 for Felix, 180 for Marts. Marts in a little bit of digging and doesn't get the square where he perhaps wanted to put it. Maybe that is where he wanted it. But now we've got quite a few squares. He's closing off the well and reopening it. Okay. What is going on? Let's see. 290 for Felix, 218 for Marts. Marts with a 10 line, Marts is 10 lines behind. So in terms of pace, I'm not quite sure who's ahead. But Marts is going to have trouble and needs to get pieces over to the right, but can't. And Marts is going to top out. And that means Felix takes the game and the set. I'm starting to think this match isn't legit right now. Felix, stop playing because you did win. Yeah, now that I'm looking at Felix, that might explain what you were talking about. You said something about Norg thinking you're on 29. Are you on PAL mode? Please tell me you're not on PAL mode. Please tell me you're not on PAL mode. You're on NTSC. Good. Thank goodness. You're on NTSC. Okay, we're gonna check a few things. Hang on. Wait, hang on. So we're gonna check a few things. First, you're not on PAL mode, right? Secondly, what is your emulator speed? What is your emulator FPS? Yeah. What is your emulator speed? I remember you playing around with emulator speed. If you forgot to set the emulator speed back, are you just pushing down? Are you just pushing down? That would explain it. I will check your score, Felix. You're just pushing down every piece, which is really, don't do that. Like, it's not good. In Tetris, you kind of want to play as slowly as possible. That would really explain it. Okay. So Felix is just pushing down. Okay. Marts. I'm really sorry, Marts. That would explain it because that is if that looks like 19 speed to you, then that's what pushing down would do. Um, and the score does seem to back that up with the strange numbers. No problem. So Marts, was that like, sufficient? Was that like a huge interference or like Felix won that, right? Felix still won that, yeah? Or do we think we have to redo something? I don't know. I can I can ask Felix won. Okay. Felix, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Okay. Felix did win the set. Um no, the winner is not Marts. The winner is Felix. Yeah, oh, Felix is a keyboard roller. Um that may enable certain things. I don't know. Yes. Okay. Felix, do you want a new seed or just increment this seed? Like it's yeah. Good game. Hang on. All right. So where am I? Where am I? I'm sorry. Okay, so we're good. We're good. I'm really sorry. Hey now. Um I'm really sorry. Hang on. Okay. Where are we? So Felix won this match 3-1. And I'm just gonna write that down. So Felix 3, Marts 1. And now we know that Felix is just pushing down. Um, which is crazy, by the way. Crazy. Yes, stop pushing down. Like, it's not a good habit. From what I hear, and past 19, it's useless. But what I would recommend, Felix, in the future is whenever you enter a match and you're going to push down every single piece, maybe just send in chat a message saying, "Hey, my game's gonna look fast, because I push down every piece." Um, but yeah, Marts is correct. Have fun. If you like playing like that, nobody can stop you. All right, it's a new game. We are on the Hey Now seed. Um, Finio, I cannot confirm nor deny what you said. Okay, we are playing for fun. That is ultimately what we're playing. Okay, we're good. Are we ready for set number 2? Hopefully less of a warm up. Okay. Let's count this down in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Whew. Like I said, I was just completely unprepared. And now I can't tell if Felix has hit the brakes on pushing down or if no, there seems to be some push down action. Finio asks, why are they playing 2 rounds? So this is not CTM. I know, insane. Like I only stream CTM. Um, they're playing 2 rounds because this is Tetris for the non-pros. It is a league, and the general format is that every player plays 2 sets of Tetris against every other player. Um, you will learn a lot more about this once PTL starts because it's probably going to be very similar. Um, yes, and Felix just can't seem to get the board clean just yet. Um, and Marts also has the well blocked off, but is able to mostly uncover it, and will now uncover it. And Felix is setting up in column 2 for a Tetris. 83,000 for Felix and 59,000 for Marts. Felix 5 lines ahead. So if Marts scores a Tetris here, I think that'll about even up the pace. And Marts takes the triple, decides not to be a hero. That's what we like to see. I think at this level and the levels below it, and some levels above it as well, I think the winner is a lot of times just the player who doesn't top out. 178 for Felix, 120 for Marts. Marts is 6 lines behind. Gets not a Tetris. That's not a Tetris. Felix is now the one with a perfectly clean board. And is able to roll pieces all the way to the left. Marts now has the nice right well stack. Would like a J. There we go, there's the J. Okay. 236 for Felix and 138 for Marts. Marts is about 14 lines behind. So now Felix has built up a significant lead by playing faster, although at the same time, Marts also has a few more Tetrises that he can score than Felix can right now. This being said, we will see if those Tetrises actually will be scored. Okay. And Felix in a bit of a struggle, but nothing that can't be handled. And Mart's clean as a cucumber. No. So Mart's is currently just 7 lines behind Felix. Felix is at 294 and Mart's is at 244. So 50k behind in points and 7 behind in lines when I said that. Felix scored some Tetrises, now has surpassed 300k. And Felix is doing that left well. He's got the speed to get the pieces over. Though, yes, on the left well. Felix is a roller, and from what I've heard, a fast roller. But needs the right pieces now, or at least needs to use the pieces he has in the right way. We're approaching 100 lions here. Felix at 333 and Marts at 318. Marts over 10 lines behind Felix, but Felix is not having a good time. Gets the bar that he needs, gets the square and the T that he needs, and is able to start burning this down. But transition is coming in 2 burns for Felix, and if this board doesn't get nice quickly, it's going to be over. But Felix transitions with 350 and is okay and brings the board back down to the bottom. Meanwhile, Marts has taken the lead at this point at 367 and is still hasn't transitioned yet. Meanwhile, Felix getting a dirty Tetris quite high up, looking quite dangerous. Marts has 2 burns to go until transition. So we are seeing transition play now. This is beautiful. The question is, and Felix, that bar. And the question is, okay, Marts transitions with a 402. Felix at 390 and 20 lines ahead. So Marts has now built up quite the pace lead. Felix is digging, stack full of holes and some pieces in places that he really doesn't want them, but is not dead yet. Marts is also struggling a bit. I wouldn't say as much as Felix, but Marts is definitely not having the easiest time. And Felix is going to top out, and Marts takes game number 1. That was close, yes. But Marts, you did win that game. You did win. GG. You won that first game. Okay, we're still 18 all the way, right? This is a new set, so I can, you're welcome to switch things up. You're welcome to do some 15. And no, these players don't, these players have no interest in any of that. They say 18 or bust. So I'll give them what they want. All right. All right, let's start the next match, the next game. Mart says 18 or top out. Yes, because 19 is going to top you out pretty quickly, it seems. Top both these players out. But hopefully we're going to get some more 19 soon. It feels like these players are getting better and better with each match, and it's really exciting to see. What do you mean is 19 optional, Felix? No, it's not optional. Yes, Mart says we will. You will get better. I think we're gonna see a good run into 19. Okay, let's get this next game going. In 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Finio says CTWC Game Boy is going on right now. Surely Hepta would be playing in that, right? Hepta, Finio, please enlighten me if Hepta is playing or not. Surely. Finio says surely. I would think. I don't know. Nice spin for Felix. I think Felix has attempted more spins than Marts has, although I'd have to go back and look. Oh, I love that scare. I love that scare we had. Oh, Felix, do you happen to be playing down? No, he's just a push down merchant. Hepta is playing, Finio says. What good news. That's what I think I'm going to call Felix that from now on. I'm going to call him the pushdown merchant. I think that title has been well earned. And Felix is up really high and would like a bar. Is up really, really high. All right, 78,000 for Felix and 121 for Marts. About the same lines. So Marts has the lead, about 20,000 now that Felix has scored a Tetris. Okay. Let's see what else we have. Marts is clean. Felix is all the way at the bottom. Finio, how is Hepta doing in this tournament? Marts has got some dependency over there on the left side, but is resolving it and is going to build a well in column 4 and gets the Tetris. All right, 224 for Felix and 223 for Marts. Felix 4 lines ahead, so again, fairly even. And we've got another interesting well from Marts, which is currently closed off. Would like to get an L piece, but that bar will do it just as well. And the well is back open. Felix, meanwhile, also has a well in an unusual column, but is currently having to dig. And Felix seems to like throwing bars all the way to the left. Probably to avoid 5 taps. And there's Marts just trying to open that center well. 244 for Felix, 243 for Marts, but Felix about 8 lines ahead. So Marts has the pace lead. And that well is open. Marts' well is open. Scores a Tetris and opts to transfer back to a right well. Ooh, but has a nasty misdrop and now needs to open up a hole in the center in order to allow the right well to reopen. 263 Felix, 297 for Marts. Felix over 10 lines ahead. So Marts definitely has the lead and is able to fill that center up. The well on the right was just open. He had to close it again, but I think soon enough we will be back in business and the well on the right is open. As I say it was closed once again, but that's okay. We are now approaching transition very rapidly. Felix at 277 with 8 lines to go. Felix has to burn down this board most likely soon. But before that happens, Marts is going to top out. Felix, you have a chase down. Your target is 310. And now we see a 19 chase down. This is what we've been looking for. So, Marts says RNG trolled me on that game. Well, let's see if RNG trolls Felix. So we're at 291 right now, and our target is 310. So that's not going to require Tetrises. Lining out will do it, but lining out might be more difficult than it seems at first glance. Can Felix pull the win? Into level 21, still needing a few more lines. 307. We're looking for 310. And Felix is going to opt to try and score a Tetris. Just one Tetris will do it. Needs to burn. And that Tetris will do it. GG, Felix. Alright, I'm gonna refresh the stream just so that I have less lag on my end. I seems like you guys are getting things faster than I am, so I'm just refreshing the streams. And hopefully that will be okay. Yeah, Marts is refreshing too. I don't know what's happening. This has never happened. I've done 6 different restreams. This has never been something of a concern. I've never had to deal with this. Mart says, "Give me the money, Twitch." Yeah. I have to watch ads. Phineas says, "Not the Domino's commercial." Felix says, "I stopped pushing down after 19." So Felix, after 19, pushing down doesn't do anything. 19, push down doesn't do anything. So there's no point in pushing down. The pieces will go just as fast if you do nothing. So there's no need to push down. Felix says, "But it's safe though. I might get the exact same points as Marts, maybe." Don't think about that. Don't live your life like that. That's my advice. Okay. Alright. 8B is what we're at. 8B, B8. What a seed. Alright. Maybe this seed will give us some luck. So Felix took that match, right? Felix took that match. That I know. So Felix, put your ready indicator up when you're ready. Felix is ready. I am ready. And we're starting match 2, game 3. In 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Okay. We're off once again. Both players have started their games. Finio says Hepta is in the finals. That's good, but is down 1-2. I'm gonna assume it's a best of 5, so 1-2 is not really great. But Finio, please update me on the Game Boy Championship. I, of course, would like to know how our good friend Hepta is doing. The puzzle master, the puzzle master of all time. All right. Felix, as a roller, just able to stack so much higher um than Marts, at least it seems. But at the same time, there's usually maybe, I don't know, who do you think has had more holes on this board so far? All right, 89,000 for Felix, 100,000 for Marts, and getting a Tetris for 123,000. Marts is about 2 lines behind Felix when I said that. And Finio says, yes, the Game Boy Championship is a best of 5. Felix is quite high up. Would like a bar. He gets the bar for a Tetris, 1 row off the bottom. The next bar is going to be a triple because of that hole in the stack. 142 for Felix and 172 for Marts, with Felix being 7 lines ahead. So Marts definitely has the pace lead. And I think that that's been more common, but that doesn't mean that he can't top out. Pace only lasts as long as you stay alive. And Felix again throwing those bars to the left. Maybe just really not feeling in the mood for any 5 taps. $159 Felix, 228 for Marts, and Marts is 8 lines behind. So that's a pretty significant lead. I wouldn't call it insurmountable, but it's pretty significant. And Felix once again playing B-type, clearing the garbage, except now that garbage, there's no garbage. It's just a well, 1 off from the bottom. Tetris for Felix. And we are at 193 for Felix and 277 for Marts. Again, Marts still keeping that line count behind Felix. So and Marts has surpassed 300k. Felix still at 226. This is difficult for Felix. He wanted a bar, didn't get it in time, so he did burn. But he's now really high and needs to dig back down. So Felix is the first one to cross 100 lines, almost at 110 right now. And can he get something over to the left? Yes. And Felix at 245, Mart's at 375, so over 100,000 point lead and behind in lines. And Felix is playing full on B type. And can't get anything over to the left. And that means Mart's is good for the third game. Mart's is good. Nice one, Mart's. All right. Okay, so could this be the last game? Maybe. Marts is up 2-1. And I'm sorry, Nerdy Felix says no. What does that mean? Okay, both players are ready, and so we'll start the next game. In we're counting it off now. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. I hope that there's no more lag. Yes, I hope that the stream is better. And Finio says Hepta will play a decider. That's good to hear. Our old friend Hepta of puzzles fame playing a decider. I saw Hepta practicing Game Boy, so I am really pleased that Hepta made it all the way to the finals, to the decider. And wow, Marts is in trouble early on the board, and that reaction says it all. Can he get pieces over? No. And Marts tops out with basically nothing. Thankfully, not a Club Zero. Yeah. And Felix is good. Again, my goodness. Early tops are just so tragic. But now we do have a decider. That is such a nice thing. Um, I think my best option here is to kind of, taunt these players and saying, what is it? Is it AD? 1 plus 10 is it AD? Hang on. Oh yeah, it is AD. That's good. AD. Yep. 4 plus 10 4 plus 9 is D. Yeah, we're good. Felix has got to get my music on. Okay, Felix is trying to lock in for this final game. It's going to be on 18 again. These players just can't get enough of 18. Hmm. Again, my sincere apologies for the commentary. I was unprepared. I'm not gonna accept matches on this short notice anymore. I can't keep the quality high enough, but I'm at least glad that this I'm just glad that this got restreamed, but man, this is not the quality from that I would expect from myself. So yeah, but all right, Felix is getting his music on. All right, Mart says restream is good, man. Don't worry. Thank you. We're almost done. All right, Felix is ready. It's D-siding time. We're gonna get it. We're gonna pour ourselves a D-sider in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. The final game. I hope it makes it to 19. We need speed. We need more 19 battles. We need more 19 battles. Felix, once again, the spin master. I haven't seen Felix miss a spin. I've seen various things from Felix, but one thing I have not seen from Felix is a good old Tugi spin. I've not seen it yet, and I hope not to. And we're off to pretty normal start. Felix once again playing a couple rows off the bottom. And we have a jerk in chat. We have a scammer. Goodbye. Scammers are no fun. What is fun is this game. 58,000 for Felix and 75,000 for Marts. So, Marts again behind in lines. About the same situation as every other most matches. But that doesn't mean Felix has played terribly at all. He won the last set, and he may win this one. This is a deciding game, but has a bar dependency on the left that gets filled quickly. We like when that happens. 135 Felix, 148 Marts. About the same lines. Okay, Felix gets the tuck. I'm not sure if Felix has missed any tucks either. I have to look back. He very well may have placed that left on Martz's board. He's gonna have to get a piece over to the left or play flat, which is what he's gonna do. But now he can't get something over to the right and is going to early top, giving the win to Felix. Martz says, "Not my day." It is not your day. I'm so sorry. But Roll has beaten Das twice today. GG Felix. Let me report that. So Martz has lost. Felix has won. Thank you, Martz. No problem for the restream. Martz says thanks for the restream. No problem. Again, really sorry that it was so rushed. Yeah. Okay. This set is 3-2. Let me report that. Felix 3, Martz 2. Yep. No problem, Felix. I know you wanted me to restream one of your games. My bad that it had to be this one at this time. Goodbye.